sweet potato pie. So we ended up, I had some coconut cream pie.
That's my favorite.
The governor had some lemon meringue pie. And the waiters there, they wanted to take a picture with me because they said that the owner was a die-hard Republican. They said, we're going to take this picture so we can give him a hard time. But right as we're taking the picture, the owner walks out. He's got our pie. And he says, here you go, Senator, here's your pie. I said, I hear you're a die-hard Republican. He said, that's right. I said, how's business? He said, not so good.
Got it, we got it.
He said, my customers, they don't have any money right now. The economy's so bad, so they can't eat out. They can't buy my pie. So I said, let me ask you something. How long you been a Republican? He said, my whole life. I said, who's in charge of the economy right now? He said, the Republicans. I said, if you keep on hitting your head against the wall, at some point, do you stop and say, this hurts? He said, yeah, I guess you should stop. I said, yeah, you might want to think about voting Democratic this time. Because 4 more years of this, that's too much. You should try the Democrats. We can't do any worse. Billy, the American people understand it's time for a change. They know we need policies that grow our economy from the bottom up. So that every American, everywhere, has the chance to get ahead. Not just the corporate CEO, but their secretaries.
Yes, that's right.
Not just the person who owns the factory, but the folks who are working on the factory floor.
That's right.
These are the American people that I'm standing with.
Yeah.
Those are the folks that I'm fighting for. That's the kind of leadership I'm offering.
Yeah.
That's why I'm running for President of the United States. Sophisticated here. So I don't want you guys to be fooled when John McCain and Sarah Palin start stealing. When they start putting on their ads and their signs that we're all about change.
She might go home and take care of that family.
You know, change isn't just a slogan.
That's right.
Change isn't just about a few words. Change is an attitude.
That's right.
Change is an understanding of what the American people are going through. So don't fall for that. Don't be hoodwinked.
We got our mind.
Don't be bamboozled. Don't fall for the okie doke. Let me tell you what change means. Change means rebuilding this economy.
Yeah.
We know that it's time to create the good paying jobs of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's hurting.
Yeah.
Philadelphia's hurting. Thousands of jobs have been lost this year. Wages are flat.
Yeah.
Some folks are losing their job so fast that you can't ask yourself whether you're better off 4 years ago. You got to ask yourself whether you're better off 4 weeks ago. But it doesn't have to be that way. That's why I'm going to stop giving tax breaks to companies that ship jobs overseas. We'll start giving tax breaks to companies that are investing right here in Philadelphia, right here in Pennsylvania. I want to be a president who will put you first. Because I believe in the American people and what we can do together. And if we want to turn this economy around and lead the 21st century, we have to create the high-wage jobs of tomorrow right here in America.
And reduce
invest $15 billion a year in renewable energy to create 5 million new green jobs over the next decade. Jobs that pay well and can't be outsourced. We'll provide affordable loans to our small businesses. Eliminate their capital gains taxes. Give them tax incentives to create new jobs. That's the change we need. Change means a tax code that doesn't just work for folks at the top, but for all of us. John McCain wants to get $200 billion in tax cuts to the biggest corporations in America. He wants to give $700,000 apiece for the average Fortune 500 CEO. That's not how to grow an economy. I want to give you, the middle class, a tax cut. 95% of all workers will get a tax cut. And let me tell you, if you make less than $250,000 a year, how many people make less than $250,000? I think that's most of it. You won't see your taxes increase one dime, not your payroll tax, not your income tax, not your capital gains tax. Because an economy like this one, the last thing we should do is raise taxes on the middle class. Change means finally fixing our healthcare system. Under my plan, if you've got healthcare, the only thing that's going to change is we'll lower your premiums. If you don't have health insurance, we'll give you the same kind of health insurance that I have as a member of Congress. That's just right. We'll give small businesses a tax credit to pay 50% of the cost of covering their employees. We'll tell insurance companies no more discriminating against people with pre-existing conditions. Treat everybody right. That's the change we need. Change means giving every child everywhere the skills, the knowledge they need to compete in this global economy. That means investing in early childhood education so every child is ready to learn. Recruiting an army of new teachers. Giving them higher salaries, giving them more support. And making a deal with every young person in America. If you keep your grades up, if you work hard, if you contribute to community service, we will guarantee you can afford to go to college. Change means investing in our cities. I was talking to Mayor Nutter. Cities can barely borrow right now. They can't just deal with the basic infrastructure improvements they need in the city. So why not? Why not start rebuilding our cities, rebuilding our rural communities, rebuilding our roads and our bridges, laying broadband lines so everybody has access to the internet. We can put 2 million people to work right now, fixing our sewer lines, fixing our water treatment system. And if people tell you we can't afford it, you just remind them we are spending $10 billion a month in Iraq when they've got a budget surplus. Let's spend that money in Philadelphia. Let's spend that money in Pennsylvania, putting people back to work. That's the commitment I make to you. Back on track.
And the
last thing we need to do is take on the corruption on Wall Street and in Washington. Make sure a crisis like this never happens again.
Pull some of that gold out.
We'll put common sense regulations in place to keep our markets free and fair. Restore accountability, responsibility to our boardroom. And we'll go through the entire federal budget line by line. Eliminate any spending that isn't helping our families. We'll start by ending this war in Iraq. We will also eliminate programs that don't work because there's too much need out here for tax dollars. If we're going to take some tax dollars from you, then we better spend them wisely. That's a commitment that I make. Now, I won't pretend, Philly, that this is going to be easy. We're going through some tough times right now. And we all need to sacrifice. We all need to pull our own weight. I can't just put more money in the schools. Parents, you got a parent. Fathers, you got a father. You know, we can invest in clean energy, but everybody's going to have to do their part in becoming more energy efficient. Now more than ever, we're all in this together. This country and the dream it represents is being tested in a way that we haven't seen in a long time. But it's a test we can't fail.
That's right.
Not now. Not when we have a crisis to solve and an economy to save.